Hey,
I'm so I'm so sorry. My internet collapsed on me. Yeah, joys of working from home.
imagine
Go on.
doing this with 10 people and they're all 12 years old.
That must be an incredible challenge.
Hello everyone, I am Bartolo for Gallery Teachers and we are producing a series of videos about TEFL, that is teaching English as a foreign language. Today we talk about marketing for English teachers, teachers in general, and schools. What do you do to promote your business? Our very special guest for today is Ben Phillips of Digivate. He is a marketing expert for the educational world. He has a TEFL qualification and he knows a lot about this industry. Ben, thank you very much for having accepted our invitation. I would like to take this opportunity to talk to our pro members and give them some advice. We are very busy with our projects and producing content and building our community. And we tend to forget to promote all of our services. What can we do to get more visibility straight away?
We are a London-based agency, and we initially started off. We actually started before Google, which is a weird, scary thing. In 1998, we were initially an SEO agency, so search engine optimization, and over time, like you're saying, how gallery teachers had to adapt to the times, we've had to adapt to the times in terms of how marketing changes, and digital marketing especially is an incredibly fast-paced environment which is constantly evolving. We've got everything in-house, everything's under one roof, and we have the ability to build websites, market many different companies, whether it be course providers like yourself or big enterprise healthcare companies, fintech, anything. We vary massively within industries, which is a great part of my job, is because I get to experience many different businesses. Keeps it really interesting. But what we do is basically we try and act as a branch of a company's marketing team. So often when you work with an agency, you probably have an account manager.
Mhm.
And the account manager is like the intermediary part, and it looks after a lot of the conversation internally. But we thought that way it's not as transparent as we'd like it. So what we started doing with companies was acting as their sort of outsourced arm of their marketing department, where we have digital strategists, and that's the main point of contact. And then underneath the strategist, you have the PPC specialist, a content writer, and maybe a data analyst. But if you needed SEO, then you'd have an SEO specialist as well. So depending on what a business needed, you would have the relevant people in, and you'd have conversation with all of them. So it's like your own team working for gallery teachers. And we found that it actually works really well, because it feels more like it's in-house, and it feels more like they're working for you rather than you're giving them work. One of the main reasons why we tend to get really good results for our clients is because we have something called the mind approach. So for example, your clients' heads, we want to understand how they think. We want to understand where they operate online. We want to understand what their motivation is. And we want to understand exactly what they're doing. Where are they online? What are they searching for? What are their interests? And we take this approach. We start off with a really intense discovery session of trying to figure out what your customers are doing. The traditional way that digital marketing agencies did was they would do a set and forget. Oh, audience segments, that fits into that fits into that. Off we go. Let's just do ads for that. The way that the market's changing, it's way more audience centric, and it's more audience focused. You genuinely want to help the audience you're trying to serve. It can't be a sort of a mindset of, oh, this might get them to buy our product. This is actually going to help them. You're giving them a free workshop. You're giving them some free tips of how to really find the best place to go to, in best school, best area, the best tips for working from home and teaching from home online. That kind of sort of attitude that we have to it, I think, is really adapted to the environment we're now living in. And it's changed massively over the last year, especially. And you've seen it, and many businesses have seen it, and we're having to adapt with those businesses. It's called the mind approach, because we always have the mind at heart with whatever we're doing. We want to know exactly what the audience, how they're thinking, and understand them. It really is about empathy and understanding. We've done a bit of work for a company called the Institute of Risk Management, which is the IRM. So they, similar to yourselves, they had offline courses that they were doing, workshops, in person, and they, with COVID, had to adapt to the online environment. And they were like, well, we can't do them now. We're gonna have to do online courses. So they came to us, we turned everything online, and what they were struggling with was awareness. What we did was we created a landing page for this awareness campaign. The awareness was driving traffic, got them onto this landing page, which then converted them into buying the course. So their goal was to increase enrollment, and basically using LinkedIn and Google search, Google display. And we managed to get like a 354% return on investment, and also a 454% return on ad spend. So we did some incredible work for them, and we were driving 2 million in traffic. They were getting so much traction. So we thought, right, course providers are needing this kind of help. So we reached out to like yourself.
One of my challenges personally as the head of editorial is that I don't know exactly who are our new customers and what they are looking for. We are talking to people from all over the places. So if we are, for example, I published an article about difficulties that students from Pakistan have in learning English. And it was a very interesting article of a very high value, academic value, but it wasn't very popular aside from Pakistan. And the same happens with all of the topics. They are interesting for a specific part of the audience. So at the moment, our blog is read all over the world, but the numbers are not huge. So the blog should be something to connect and exchange ideas. Absolutely. And you know, if you want to write an article about something you are passionate about, go for it. You're very welcome to do that, and then someone else will enjoy the article.
So this is something that we do actually. We have in-house copywriters. The cycle of how any customer operates is like this. They see the blog and they think, okay, they see your name. They're like, okay, right, yeah. They might have a look, you know, think, oh, that was it. That was interesting. Yeah. And then they might go offline again. They might go off somewhere else. And then they might pop up again. You might see another blog of yours. And it's a long, drawn-out process. It's not just a simple process of seeing a blog, oh, click on the website, yeah, buy. It's like a drawn-out process of seeing the blog, going away, coming back, oh, yeah, I'll go back to that. Maybe clicking on the website the second time. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, they do that, right. Going away, doing a bit of research. But as you get down that process and that funnel, they gain more and more trust. And that's what so many customers now are spending more time researching. They're spending more time actually looking into stuff and getting that free content first and free stuff first, soaking it all up, building that trust, and then executing. We support companies with content writing, but you have the expertise within this teaching environment. What our content specialists have is the expertise in communicating it to people. So it's almost like a collaboration. You know, it's important to know who it's reaching, but it's absolutely worth doing blog for an audience in Asia. It's absolutely worth doing maybe a blog post for people in South America. The audiences are so different, but yet they are all people who could buy your courses, who could become members. It is absolutely important to make sure that they build trust in a company like Gallery Teachers. And really what you need to be doing if you're doing online courses, and if this is a massive part of your business now, you need to be ranked, you need to get your ads at the top, and you want your organic rankings higher. And that comes through SEO. And then obviously the short term, get in front of them, be in the top ads. You want to be in the top 3, right in front of the customer. Because even if you're just doing the ads and they're not clicking, you're not paying anything for them to look at it. They see your name, they see Gallery Teachers at the top. You're not paying for them to see that. You're only paying once they click. But the whole point of what we do as a company is conversion rate optimization, is basically making sure the journey is so clean for them and so easy for them to, once they click through the website, they can click TEFL course, bang, bang, execute, gone. And it's the easiest process. We don't want the dropout rate. We don't want the bounce rate. We want to heighten the conversion rate. And then you start seeing real results. That whole approach is get the traffic, get it in, get the right customer, because there's no point driving the traffic when they're not the right customer.
So what would you do in terms of SEO?
The blog is so important for your organic ranking. When you're doing these blog posts, you've got to be able to to write in a way that is captivating, but of real interest. So when you're writing, you don't want to write because you think that this will help you gain attention and get them to your website. You want to write so you sincerely want to help their process. You want to help whatever they're doing. And the information that you give has got to be of real value to them. But when you're writing it, do not make it just a paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. You want to break it up to, paragraph with then some bullet points or an infographic. And this is similar in the way that as you teach people, it's like to keep their attention on that page. You want to obviously reach the right audience so they go, that's of interest. And how do you get that interest? It's the title, it's the blog, it's the title of the post. If you drop even a link to something else which might be of use to them, it builds that trust. You think they actually want to help me. And that's what I think Gallery Teachers is all about. The community that you have is all about giving back a bit more. But in the meantime, you've got courses which they can refresh on. You've got a job board which they can help them get jobs. And more importantly is that they'll keep paying that membership each year. And that's what you want. It's all about that trust with a company like yours is maintaining that trust. So always dropping value in blog posts is something which I think is really, really beneficial to these kind of companies.
Our pro members are director of studies, teachers working online, and they just opened a business and they're working from home. So they are not experienced companies. Some of them are. So we have also schools, experienced teachers looking for something else to improve their business. Can you give them some ideas on how to increase their visibility from a professional point of view?
In terms of a small business, I think what happens is a lot of startups come to us, and they have the issue where they start up and they think, right, I can do a lot of this promotion ourselves, and you, to a certain extent you can, but it gets to a point of scaling the business where you come to a blockage and you go, right, I need external help. Many companies come to us and they think, right, we're ready for that extra step. We're ready for that investment. When you have to look at your own business, you have to think, what is going to be the top of your priority? Is it going to be organic rankings? Do you want this long term? Well, obviously you want it long term, but is it at the top of your priority? Because what you've got to remember is that SEO, search engine optimization, is not a short-term game. So you're not going to see results until after 4 months, really. It can take up to 9 months before you actually see that organic rankings going higher. And that's why the best bet, if you have the investment behind it, is to do a two-pronged approach. You do Google ads, well, not necessarily Google ads, but you do paid ads, which might consist of Google ads, paid social, and then you also have SEO. And then the SEO is the long-term approach. Google ads, you're getting in front of them there and then. If you want to get in front of your customers, you can get in front by using Google ads, and you don't even pay anything until they click. So you're just gaining brand recognition. But on that subject of brand recognition and awareness, it's really important to really grow your awareness early on. And that is through social media. You want to grow organically, have a social presence, and know who your customers are, and try and reach them through social engagement, getting in front of them with posts and even competitions, and just interacting with them. You want to be communicating, messaging, talking to them, commenting, and it's all about being this approachable figure behind a business screen. You've got this business profile, but you've got to be an approachable figure, because they don't want to talk to a business. They want to talk to someone. People want to talk to people. The ultimate aim really as a business is you want to connect with your customers so that they build this trust and this faith, and they will buy from you. And you can go through your own learning of Google ads and setting up your own ads, and it's Google My Business, which is really important, because you want to have business information available for anybody who Googles you, be accessible and be searchable. Because so many times I'm looking at a business and I think, I'll check them out on Instagram. People often use social media as a search engine, and you've got to be online. You've got to be in front of them if they want to search for you on whatever social platform. It's key to get in front of them, really is. So I'd say for the startups, find out who your audience is and where they're operating.
Niching down or going global? What do you think for startups?
in my opinion, you should test the market. You can replicate it to a certain extent, but it will never be the same. You will always have to adapt it for that location.
So let's say, for example, that a couple of English teachers decide to join forces. They have some expenses and they have to recoup the money as soon as possible in order to launch the business. There are some companies that focus just on the Italian market or Spanish market.
Yeah.
Learn English with Spanish. Learn business English, while other companies like ourselves are thinking globally.
Absolutely, go for it. Go. Cast the fishing net wider. But if you cast that net wider and you get a lot of traffic, if you can't cope with that traffic, it's going to look very, very bad. It could actually ruin your business. You're better off going step by step, get a bit wider. In terms of scalability, if you have the resources there to manage, absolutely go wide. If there's just two of you, then it might be a case of just starting off with a section of the market, seeing how that goes, testing your ads.
It takes a lot of time to manage all the social media. So if you start with Facebook and then Instagram, and then now we have TikTok, and producing content for YouTube and so many things, it's a job on its own. And maybe you don't have all the expertise. You don't know how to edit, or you don't know how to retouch a picture. And there's a lot to learn. So if you are starting a business, what social media would you suggest to start with instead of all of them?
Who is your audience? Because each platform differs greatly. So you'll be seeing a lot of the younger generations using TikTok, Instagram, and the older generations use more Facebook. Give me an example customer for two English teachers who have started up a business.
For example, I had a yoga teacher, and her customers were adults, foreigners, and she needed to improve her English.
I think that Instagram is going to be the core. It kind of is with terms of ads. When I see ads on Instagram personally, I'd say that Instagram's a really, really good way. Facebook is, I think, because of the adult side of things, a lot of the adults which you might be wanting to target. If you're a business that says, I want to focus on teaching adults English so that they can use it in business, Facebook and even LinkedIn. If you've not got the manpower, it's worth focusing on just a couple of channels and making sure you're staying on top. Facebook and Instagram, because they're owned by Facebook, you can have the same analytics through them, through Facebook, and you can manage it so it works sort of simultaneously. Plan your posts. Post maybe 2 to 3 times a week, because you don't want to be constantly churning stuff. And a bit like a blog post, make it interesting, make it of value to them. And that's how they gain trust ultimately. You don't want to say, just buy this or come and learn off us. Why should they learn off you? Show them why. Don't tell them why. Show them why. Show your expertise by talking about certain situations and giving examples or example videos of you in a lesson, and just making it friendly. If you're a teacher, you want to be approachable. You want to be friendly. You want to be able to be that person that they can turn to and learn off them really easily.
How do we convert a lot of likes into money?
Engagement. You can't just view it as, yeah, they're liking, but they're not buying. Because that person might be liking those posts, and in a year's time, he might buy. Right, I'm going to do that TEFL course now. I'm going to. He knows where to come because you're in front of them. Liking. It's about nurturing. They're in that funnel. They're engaging with your posts, even if they've already bought your course before, but they're not a member. And maybe they'll think, oh, I could use that. Oh, that could be really useful. Maybe I'll go on it. Just because they're liking and not necessarily buying, it's a good thing that they are liking. It's a good thing. The engagement is there. But you must make, in the same way you must make your content valuable to them, you must make it easy for them to click straight through to your site and buy a course. People love simplicity. People are lazy. They don't want to make it hard for them to get to your site and buy. They want to be able to click. As soon as they click that post, your story, they want to be able to go straight through, and it's right there. The form is right there for them to fill out and buy.
And if some of our pro members want to work with you and use your services,
they can find our website on www.digivate.com. We have all services in terms of digital marketing, whether it be social media, Google Ads, paid, anything sort of paid social, organic social, like I said, and conversion rate optimization, SEO. And we also have development. So if you wanted to build a website, then we have the capability of doing that too. In terms of fees, our fees they range massively, but we work on more of a We measure it by hours. So but we don't have packages necessarily, but our sort of benchmark usual fee is a sort of about 2,000 is where we start off of per month as an agency fee. But we would recommend a minimum ad spend on per channel of £1,000. And then once you're from there, you can really scale up the business and you can scale up your ad spend if you start gaining traction. But we've got plenty of articles online, blog articles. We're constantly releasing sort of free advice, and just like we talked about, we do a lot of just content advice and industry news. So you can find us on LinkedIn, always releasing stuff on LinkedIn. If you've got any questions, obviously you can just contact myself, Ben at digivate.com. We can give you advice, or even book you in for a discovery session and get your business up and running.
And that's all for today. I am Bartolo Ansaldi for Gallery Teachers, and today we had Ben Phillips from Digivate. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, help us grow as a community, and until next time, happy teaching and happy learning.